Hey Mallards, it is Sunday and I am freshly showered, which would usually mean after shower thoughts with Mallory, but instead we're going to talk about The Circle because we watched 4 more episodes and we haven't discussed. And The Circle is getting pretty crazy. I feel like the players that they pulled in for this season are a little more dramatic. There's been all those accusations flying about and all of that. But more than that, I feel like the twists that they have thrown in are also more interesting. Like, I feel like they've really upped the game on all of the levels. Also, I recently discovered that the UK version of this has been going on for much longer, so they're probably just copying some of the twists and turns from that, but I'm alright with it because I'm really, really enjoying them. So to catch you up, they voted out Savannah, but she got to go visit the person she thought was most likely to win. It was Courtney. And then Courtney got the power to be the Joker, which meant that in the next episode, he got to meet the 2 new contestants, Kat and Mitchell, before they got to meet anyone else, and talk to them anonymously as the Joker. And then he also got to stir the pot in a couple of other ways, including picking one person to be an influencer, which is a mighty lot of power. So he picked River. He also did a chef's kiss job of going in and chatting with Mitchell and Kat in such a way that they would believe that Emily was the Joker, which was very smart. And then got himself, managed to smooth things out with everybody else, do a little talking here, a little talking there, and was the other influencer. So you know what that means, Tara Lisha, goodbye. She was upset, understandably, but she went to see Chloe and they were cute, and maybe they'll be friends after this. And that should mean that most of the drama is gone. And I thought that Courtney was maybe going to come clean about the role he played and be like, yeah, I was the Joker. But the Joker stirred the pot, I think, a little too much. So Tara Lisha left thinking that Emily was the Joker and basically told Chloe that Emily was the Joker. And then called out the Joker in the video all the time thinking it was Emily, which is very enjoyable for us as the viewer, less enjoyable for the people in the circle. But the game continues as it does. And they kept enjoying and meeting and having a lot of fun. There were some fun little challenges. They did like an anonymous Q&A where River hit hard on Trevor being a catfish. Lee is a catfish, obviously, playing River, but has an incredible sense of who the other catfishes are. Like, has been spot on every time. Got the know-it-all for that. And they did a couple more challenges that were really, really fun. The boys finally had a chat together where they decided that, obviously, because Trevor and Chloe were going for each other and Mitchell kind of liked Emily, like Mitchell was gonna back off Chloe, be all bro code, so he shut Chloe down, which is good because, like, it shows Mitchell's integrity and, like, he wasn't going after the guy that this other guy was going after. But it's also really sad because we know that Trevor is a catfish and that also Emily is a catfish. And so if Mitchell pursued Chloe, there was maybe potentially something there. But since they're pursuing the catfishes, there's just not really a future. Although, I don't know. Well, here's the thing is that I don't think that Jack, who plays Emily, is gay. But, like, maybe Mitchell just hasn't found the right man yet. He clearly hasn't found the right shirt yet. He doesn't wear a shirt at all. They made pancake art and Mitchell covered himself in batter. And then they did the strangest challenge that we've seen yet, where they had to take a mannequin and, like, make it up into the ideal version of you. And here's the thing about this challenge. It was a really fun challenge, and it immediately, I think, revealed all of the catfish. Because the girl who plays Trevor, whose name I don't remember right now, I think it's Talisa, maybe? I don't know. Anyway, hers was too good, and people were like, we're a little suspicious. But weirdly enough, it's a lot easier for a guy to pass off being good at makeup by being like, yeah, but I learned, I was raised by just my dad, so I did makeup for my sisters, or I'm actually an artist, or whatever. Anyway, so Trevor was too good, but Lisa, who plays Lance, was not good. Specifically not good at the hair, which is unfortunate because part of Lance's, like, signature is the way he does his hair, and, like, they had a guy from Queer Eye who knows Lance personally and was like, boy, we know that's not how you do your hair. And then, here's the thing. I don't wear makeup, like, at all. I don't necessarily know how to do makeup very well at all. I never learned. Wasn't something that held a lot of interest for me. However, I think that even with my complete inexperience, I would be better than Jack was. And when you're trying to pretend to be a 21-year-old sorority girl who wears immaculate makeup in all of the photos you've posted, if you can't do makeup at all on a mannequin, yeah, immediately the entire group was like, well, Emily's not who they say they are, clearly a catfish. So that challenge just, like, the only catfish it didn't reveal was River. Because, and I think that the reason is because Lee really isn't playing someone else. Lee is just playing himself, but using the photo of this young boy because he thinks that people would be ageist, which, I mean, he's not wrong. They might be ageist. And so because of that, he, like, comes across as more genuine because he is being more genuine, because he's not really trying to play a character aside from his use of lingo, but he's bad at it, so it doesn't even seem like he's playing a character. Anyway, so there were a lot of challenges happening there. There was a little bit of drama, but nothing too crazy. Like, the drama has clearly scaled back. There were some catfish accusations thrown out, but the real fun was that they announced that there would be no influencers and that the two lowest scoring would just be axed. Guess who it was? Lisa, who plays Lance, and Jack, who plays Emily, because everybody knew they were catfish and they're out of there. So then they were told they could go meet somebody, and we were all like, ooh, who are they going to meet? And then they did this weird thing where they were like, oh, I'm going to go meet River. And the other one was like, I'm going to go meet Trevor. And I was like, oh man, all the catfish just meeting each other. But it was strange that they said that and then left, because usually they leave like a, oh, I wonder who they're going to meet. Who would they come up with? And instead they just said who they were going to go see. So I was like, I'm suspicious. And then Lisa walked into an apartment that we instantly recognized as not Lee's / River's. And she's like, hello, River? And we're like, okay, what's happening here? And then Jack ends up in the same apartment. And they introduce themselves as the catfish. And then the circle is like, yo, you got axed, but you have the opportunity to come back. So now they are living in the same apartment together, and they are going to be playing a totally different person in the circle. Which we literally all cheered out loud for that. It's a very good twist. I think it'll be a lot of fun. Also, the person that they're playing is older. An older man, which I think will be very interesting. I'm excited to see where it goes next. I'm usually not the type of person who's really into... I'm usually not the person who's really into reality television, but, like, it's really fun. It allows me to turn off my brain completely in a way that a lot of escapist television doesn't allow, which is not necessarily a bad thing. I love a television show that makes me think, that makes me consider what's going to happen next, that has me intrigued in the character development or in the story they're trying to tell or in what deeper meaning they have for the show. I love all of that. I'm a girl who watched Lost, like, clearly got no problem with a show that's going to make you spend some time thinking about it. But it is really nice to just enjoy some absolute garbage. So there are only a few more episodes left. It's gonna get crazy before it finally and abruptly ends. I will let you know what's happening. Let me know if you watched The Circle. If you're already, like, further on in The Circle than I am, because I know I'm behind, like, please no spoilers. But also, like, if you spoil, I guess that's your right. Like, You get to leave the comments, and I leave the comments open for anyone. So, like, you want to spoil the whole thing, you go right ahead. But if you watch The Circle, let me know what you think of it. If you don't watch The Circle, but you enjoy other reality television shows, let me know what you watch. And if you think reality television is trash and not worth your time, I will not argue with you. If you don't think it's worth your time, then it's not worth your time. Like, no one should spend their time doing things that they don't think are worth their time, with, like, a few exceptions. Like, unfortunately, kids under 18, you should probably go to school, even if you don't feel like it's worth your time. Unfortunately, for the rest of us, we should probably go to work, even if we don't think it's worth our time. But when you actually have free time where you get to enjoy things, don't spend your time on things that aren't worth your time. It'll just make you sad. So if you like reality television, enjoy it and don't feel guilty. And if you don't like reality television, don't watch it. And don't feel guilty about that either. I'll see you tomorrow.